Hey everyone, PV here, and welcome to this week's YouTube video. And this week we're going to do a deck guide and a full playthrough of the Arena Open that happened last week. So for those who don't know, the Arena Open is a tournament that happens, every couple of months, always a different format, that anyone can join. And it is really cool because it has actual money as prizes if you make it to day 2 and do well on day 2. So the way it works is, day 1, you can always choose between playing best of 1 or best of 3. Right, of a given format. Sometimes it's standard, sometimes it's historic, sometimes it's limited. So there's no real schedule for that, I think. It just happens randomly. Right, and you can fire as many bullets as you want. So as long as you have gems or gold, you can keep joining until you get the required number of wins, which is different for best of 1 or best of 3. Right, for best of 1, you have to go 7 and 2, or you play until 7 wins or 3 losses, and you need to reach 7 wins. And for best of 3, you have to go 4-0. So best of 1 is easier. And the deck that I chose to play in Best of 1 was Mono White, just because I wanted something fast. Right, I wanted to play Best of 1, I wanted to play something fast, and I played Mono White, I went 7-1, so that worked out for me. And then on day 2, you only have 1 bullet, right? If you qualify, that's it. You play until you reach 7 wins, or 2 losses, right? And that's always Best of 3, regardless of what you played on day 1. So, if you go 6-1, or rather 6-2, you gain $1,000. And if you go 7-1, you get $2,000. So again, that's pretty cool for a tournament that is strictly online, right? You can just play from your house. There's no specific round, so you just queue whenever you want. So pretty cool tournament if you haven't tried it out and you have the gems/gold and the deck. I really recommend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the deck that I chose to play, and I am going to record every single match from the tournament, which might be 2 matches if I go 0-2, or it might be upwards of 8 matches if I go 7-1, right? The deck that I chose is Jeskai Control, which I believe is the best deck in Historic right now. I don't know which version of it is the best, right? I haven't played enough Historic to know the details, the minutiae on that, but I do know that Jeskai is the best deck, I think. I don't know, I think that. Right, I have a pretty standard version. I like the Gearhulk version more than the non-Gearhulk version, which is, I just want to be able to close out the games, and Mastery into Opus is so strong versus the aggro decks. So I like this version a little bit more. The only thing that is a bit different from usual here, I think, is the Unholy Heats, which, again, are not that different. Like, a lot of people do play them, but I think they're pretty good. And they're pretty good because, well, against aggro decks, you just want a cheap removal spell, right? You want a 1-mana removal that kills something early, because then it lets you develop your game plan, right? And reach these 6 or 8 mana spells that you need to cast to be able to win the game. But the second reason why it's good is that in the mirror, it's actually meaningful that it deals 6 damage, right? It's very, very meaningful, because for 1 mana, you can kill Teferi, you can kill Gearhulk, and you can kill, even big sharks, right? And these are cards that are not that easy to answer. Like, Gearhulk is not that easy to answer in the mirror. A lot of people have just 1 Prismari Command. So you just play a Gearhulk and they have nothing, right? So I think that is a meaningful thing. And yeah, it is not easy to get Delirium in this deck. It's actually quite hard to get Delirium. But in the mirror, you don't want to play this on turn 2 or 3 or 4. You want to play this on turn 10. Right? On turn 10, maybe a Gearhulk died, right? If a Gearhulk died, then you get Sorcery and Instant, and that's good enough, right? And then you cycle lands, maybe the Teferi died, maybe you cycle Shark Typhoon. So you don't need to get Delirium early for this card to be good in the mirror. And I even keep it in the mirror. If I play the mirror, you'll see that I usually keep in 3 copies of this card. Because I think, later in the game, it is a good card to have access to. Like, you can swing the game knowing that you have that instead of something like an Anger of the Gods, or even something like Lightning Helix, right? The difference is meaningful. Being able to kill anything for 1 mana is really strong. So that is only the only big difference that I have here. And again, not really exclusive to me. Lots of people are playing that. And I guess only 3 Expressive Iterations, which is a card that everyone kind of loves. But I think it's not that strong in this deck, because I think a lot of the time there's just no good window to play, right? It's kind of clunky, so I don't think you need to play 4, even though a lot of people swear by it as the best card in the format or whatever. I'm decided to play 3. Maybe that's a big mistake. And then the sideboard, I think the key here is that in the mirror, you want Discontinuity and Nezahal, because Nezahal is impossible to answer, so to speak, right? And Discontinuity is the one card that does answer it. So if your opponent just goes 7 mana Nezahal, you can go Discontinuity, and that actually counters it. And then there are a lot of fights happening at the end of your turn, right? A lot of the time people will go Magma Opus or Gearhulk or Shark Typhoon at the end of people's turns. And then you just get a 2 mana counter spell that counters anything, right? So that's really good. And you see that I shied away from the usual Shark Typhoon commands the endgame type of card, because I think Archmage's Charm is too punishing for those. Right? There are now a lot of reasonable ways to deal with these cards, and because Archmage's Charm is such a good answer, right? To just steal your token for free. Not for free, for 3 mana, but like if you go, at the end of your turn, tap out, make a 6/6 Shark, they just steal it, and now you're in trouble. So I think, even though those cards are good, if I had them, I would bring them in, right? I think the slots are better served trying to fight the big fight, which is Nezahal fight, like the Nezahal discontinuity thing. And then Narset is just reasonable card, good versus Phoenix as well, right? I like having it. And then the rest is just against aggro decks, right? There's some counter spells, of course, but then there's like Portable Hole, which also lets you answer the Junt cards, right? Trail of Crumbs and Witch's Oven, so I think that's pretty important. Pretty big change in the deck. Also, the other creatures from the Auras decks, right? So this is a huge upgrade from the deck from a while ago. And then just more Angers and Unholy Heats and Wrath of Gods, right? So you just have a lot of removal spells in it. So I think, again, this is not necessarily how you have to build this deck, but I do think some form of Jeskai is the best deck in the format right now. And this is the version that I chose. Alright, so let's get to match 1. And again, this is somewhat high-stakes match, so I might not be as talkative if it is a hard moment where I have to think a lot. This hand is okay. They go first. They've mulliganed. I do have a reasonable way to find a white mana. It would be better to find white on turn 2, but I think this is good enough. This hand will certainly be much, much better on the play. Right, I can just lapse into Charm their Curve and, Iteration plus Helix on turn 4. If I draw a land, but I think this might be true for basically every single hand ever. Right, in basically any deck in this format. Yeah, we're gonna do a Sulfur Falls, which enables a turn 2 Helix, and then we can still play the Hollow Storm Giants on turn 2. If we don't draw the land. If we do draw the land for the Helix, it might be a bit awkward. So maybe that wasn't good. Memory Lapse, not that great versus Snoop. Okay, I did draw the land, so I could just kill the Snoop here. So if I play the Hollow Storm Giants, I can Memory Lapse whatever they play. The next turn I can kill the Snoop. I could also just play the Fountain and pass, and then if they reveal something, I kill it, right? They probably don't have a better Goblin in their hand because they gave haste to this. It's pretty awkward. Yeah, I'm gonna let them draw if they reveal a Goblin, because now I don't have to kill it. Like, I can afford to take the damage and maybe, like, kill it at the end of the turn or something. So if they play, like, a Goblin War Chief, I can Memory Lapse that. Or I can even Lightning Helix it. Though I think I would rather Memory Lapse it. Okay, now I kill it. Yeah, now I'm gonna play Island and just pass with mana up. I guess they already gave haste, so they don't have any other haste. Like, they're gonna play a Krenko and use it immediately. Right, but I think I still should just play this low. I might even just cycle the Shark Typhoon to trade. I can kill it, or I can just counter it. I really want to save that counter for Muxes at least. Like, so I could Memory Lapse it. Yeah, let's Memory Lapse it. I'm gonna save my Archmage's Charm. So is this an iteration moment? Duration, and then maybe I'll find Unholy Heat. If they play Krenko, though, that's kind of bad. I'll find a land for Unholy Heat, I mean. If they had Krenko, they might have just played it last turn. Could they play, like, Phyrexian Tower and Muxus? Do people even play that nowadays? I think I'm just gonna play super safe. Like, they have black mana, so they could just be playing black. If I join a different land, I might just Shark Typhoon to kill the Chieftain. But yeah, as long as I don't just die, I'm fine, right? Okay, so now I really need to keep mana up. So I'm just gonna play this and pass. Then I'm not, if they attack, I'm not gonna play Shark Typhoon to block, because then they can just go land Muxus and I lose the game. What does this even do? Okay, I think this is fine. I mean, I'm not gonna use my counterspell on this. I will use the Shark Typhoon to trade with that thing. Which I think is worth it. Because I want to cycle it anyway. Now I could use the Mastery on Helix and just kill that. And still keep mana. Oh, I can't keep mana up. I'm short 1. So yeah, I'm just gonna play this. The problem is that if I play this and I find a known land, it's not actually very good. Because I can't cast it unless it costs 1. But I'm still gonna play this. Oh, see? Now this is super awkward. Because like I could in theory Helix that, but I open myself up to losing the game. So I'm just gonna use this as an impulse now. Which one do I want in my hand? The Opus or the Helix? Probably the Opus, right? I have the Mastery. Yeah, I just want the Opus in my hand. And we'll put the Triome in my library and exile the Helix and not cast it. Which is pretty awkward, but I think it's correct. If I could use this instead of just casting it, it would be optimal, right? But do I want to cycle this? I do need a land. Yeah, I think I do wanna make the treasure. Yeah, this means that I can play Mastery and Charm the same turn with my treasure, so. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cast this. I mean, I could wait and cast it for a lot, right? I'm very close to kicking it, but I don't need to kick it. What I need to do is not die to that Muxus. So like keeping 3 mana up for Charm is more important than drawing a bunch of cards. Oh, now I found a land. So I can put a land in my graveyard. I'm just gonna play it tapped. I don't want to take 2 to save a treasure. Like, this treasure doesn't that matter. Kind of annoying. But... so it's a crane code there. This doesn't have haste just yet, right? So they can't use it. So I don't have to kill it immediately. Okay, so now I got to Helix. Like Gearhulk Helix the Cranko, maybe. So like shoot the thing, Gearhulk Helix the Cranko. Seems fine. I can't wait and see what... oh, I can't wait because then they make a bunch of tokens. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they draw. I have to just kill that. I can attack though. Yeah, now I can just activate my Hollow Storm Giants and I win. Wait, I don't win. Yeah, I do. 16. right? They can't do anything. Okay. So what do we want? We definitely want Wrath, Portable Hole, Unholy Heat, and Anger, I think, right? This matchup's a bit awkward because it's a matchup where we want some counter spells, right? I can't just take out all my charms because I'll die to Muxus. So there has to be some balance in what you're doing here. So I can just sideboard like a normal, like I would versus a normal creature deck. Maybe I don't even want all this Portable Holes. Like, they don't deal with a lot of the targets. Like, they kill a Skirk Prospector and the Goblin. What is it called? The Znoop. Which are all good targets, but... Like, I do have more sweepers now. Maybe I can take out one charm, but I don't think so. I think Muxus is just so important. Yeah, I think I just take this, ironically. And oh, maybe a one iteration. I can keep this and take out one iteration. On the draw, like, I can even get a treasure. Yeah, this seems reasonable. The Prismari Command is not bad. Like, they do have 2/2 lords and stuff. But it does cost 3. I think I'm just gonna submit this. Maybe on the play I'll do something different. Well, this hand is really close to being great. Like, I have an answer for the first play, and then if I draw a red land, I'm set. Like, I can discard 2 Opuses. That's 4 mana, so I still need 2 more mana to play a Gearhulk. Is this too risky? I'm playing 26 lands. I'm on the draw. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mulligan it. So what do I want to get rid of? This is pretty awkward, this sequence with the Helix. I think it's going to get rid of the Master, right? It kind of has to be that, I think. Because like either I cast Helix on turn 2 or Charm on 3, right? But that what I play is going to depend on what my opponent plays, I guess. And Triome is always going to be there first. So that's going to be my first play. If they play nothing here... Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the Helix here. Especially because I drew another Steam Vent, so I can always just play it. But again, I would rather see what they draw. Okay, they draw Chandra, so I don't have to kill it. But I do have to counter that Chandra. Yeah, I should kill it, I think. Okay. So now it's pretty awkward if they play something like Krenko, right? I can't sweep the board, but I'll be vulnerable to that Chandra. I need to find a Gearhulk ASAP. I hope they just play the Chandra. Yeah, now I just you know, get it over with. Okay, that was a good draw. I'm gonna play this. Do I want the Lapse in my hand? Probably the Lapse. Like, the Helix is good, but I already have an Anger and a Wrath, so I would rather just buy myself another turn. Oh, library. The order of this card is always so confusing to me. Like, it should just be the other order, I think. There's always the chance they play Muxus and don't actually get to kill me, right? I should just kill that, right? Leave them in their Battle Goblin. Okay, good draw. I just have to draw a land next turn. So if they play Muxes, I get to Gearhulk them. So they can activate it, make a couple tokens, but that doesn't matter, right? They activate an attack. I think that's fine. I can just play Anger and Memory Lapse. I'm gonna let this resolve. They should probably attack. Like, they get a Goblin attacking. They miss out on a Goblin token, but they end up dealing 5 more damage, which is a lot more important, I think. Now I'm in a pretty comfortable position. Like, unless they have 2 Muxes, right? In which case I'm maybe dead, but... So I could just threaten a 2-turn lethal here with the Hull and the Gearhulk. Problem is, if they have another Muxes and they hit a Haste Lord, I'm dead. Versus I could wait, keep back 1 or potentially even 2 block, and I just won't block her. Like, you just keep back the Gearhulk and play the longer game. They have 1 card in hand, what could it be? Like, the thing is that if they play another Muxes, there's a chance I lose even if I keep the Gearhulk back, right? It's not guaranteed that it's going to win me the game. Keeping something back. What do I do here? But like, I can't beat the Muxes here. Like, if they hit the nuts. Like, the thing is that if I attack and play a land, I'll be a 9. So like, basically any Lord will actually kill me. Any Haste Lord. But what am I waiting for? Like, they can just draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Maybe this is bad. Like, if they have, like, Chandras and stuff, but I don't care about Chandra. Okay, that I really don't care about. Alright, now I'm just gonna go for it, right? Okay, that worked out. Alright, round 2. Oh, this hand is okay. The Foundry with the Charm is awkward, but... Like, it does have a Helix and the 2 iterations to find lands. I think obviously I have to keep. But it is such a different experience not knowing what your opponent's playing. Because, like, nowadays, when you play a tournament, deck lists are always open, right? And here they are not. Important to play the Foundry, the Fountain instead of the Foundry, because if I do draw a bunch of red lands in a row, right? Or, sorry, not red lands, blue lands. Now this is interesting. I could just play the Foundry and Lightning Helix something at the end of the turn, but there's a chance that they play something that I cannot Helix. Right, in which case, I basically handicap myself for no reason. But if they do play an X3, like a Kazandu Mammoth or something, it's great to have played. I think playing the Triome is best. There are not that many X3s that I think a mono green deck will play on turn 3, but not on turn 2. Right, I would expect stuff to be like bigger like this. So now this is pretty awkward. How do I think I have to play the iteration because to maybe play like 2 Helixes next turn. Like they'll probably just play a 5/5 and attack me, right? If I had blue mana, this would be so much better. I think I just have to play this and hope to find a land. Which one do I even want in my hand? Is the question. Obviously, I'm taking the Triome to play this turn, right? Not play. Playing the Triome this turn. Do I want the Teferi? The Teferi is an answer to Ronus, a pseudo answer to Ronus. But I mean, I do want more lands overall, right? Like, say they play a 5-power creature, I take 5, next turn I'm going to take 10. So even if I deal with whatever they play, I think the Teferi's going to be better. I think I have to, like, take a risk here. Well, I have to discard a card. I didn't even think of that. I guess it's going to be this iteration. It might be Anger of the Gods, though, honestly. Yep. So now, I guess I play Untapped Foundry and try them to double Helix the Questing Beast if they play nothing else. It is awkward because if they do play something and I charm it, I die. But... okay. Now this is... they can still just activate their lair. But that's only going to be for 3, right? Like, if they make it a 4/4 and attack with Ronas. But I think that's fine. Like, it buys me so much time. What does this even do?
I've lost so much already.
Nothing. Destroys my Gearhulk. Okay, Lapse was a good draw. I can Lapse that thing. So I think I have to take the Opus, take 2 damage, discard this to make a treasure. Yeah, that seems right. Library, which one? This goes to library. This goes to exile, and I play Pain 2. So now if they play Regisaur, I can go Opus Lapse. Against Lens too? Its card is broken. This is awkward. It's good for them. They played well.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Well, now that was not good for not good from them. Because I get to kill that, then I get to... I guess I could just tap, not even kill. And shoot the Vivian. No, I think I'd rather attack the Vivian. Yeah, this was bad for them now. I think they should have kept the Vivian up. So they could kill my Gearhulk if I tried to do something in combat. So I'm gonna shoot the lair. I'm gonna tap the Ronas and the lair, I guess. So if they have, like, something. Do I want to lose to a haste creature like a questing beast here? I don't think so, right? I have the Lapse and the Charm. And I even have the Helix if they play another lair. So I think I just killed the Vivian here. Like, I could have gone Opus into Teferi the Ronas here, but then I lose the questing beast. I don't want that to happen. Okay, Little Elves I'll allow. That I will not allow. Which one do I play? Probably the Charm. So if I play an untapped land, I can go Lapse and Gearhulk. But I take 2, so I have to block with Gear. Oh, I don't have to block with Gear, I have the Opus. Wait, can this block? No, okay. Do I care? I don't think so. Because I have 5, 9, 11 anyway. I have so much damage. Yeah, I don't care about that. Like, maybe they'll play, like, Sharkskin Veil or Snakeskin Veil or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're dead. Okay, so do I want Portable Hole versus them? Is the question. I don't think I do. Do I even want Anger? They have such beefy creatures. Like, I certainly want Wrath. I might even want, like, Nezahal. It's just a blocker. I think I do want Teferi, and I do want the Shark Typhoon still there. I can go one iteration. I can go to Prismari Command, too. Like, I don't know what creatures they're going to play that Anger is actually going to kill. Like, they have Questing Beasts, and I might even want Dispute over Anger, honestly. Even though this seems stupid, but... Like, if I have Narset, at least that will make my Unholy Heats more likely to work. Right? I guess the iteration does that as well, and as does the Prismari Command, so maybe I should just have those instead. Yeah, Anger does not seem very good unless I have 2. But I also don't know exactly what they are playing, right? They have Elves, they could just have Wolves, they're 3/3 for 2, and stuff like that. They probably have Wolves, right? Wolves pretty good. They should have it. I just resubmit. Just put one Wrathing there instead of the Angers and stuff. It is awkward because it is a creature deck. So do I really not want Anger? But like Anger can pair with Unholy Heat to kill a 5/4. Hooray. On the play, I think I probably do want Dispute. On the draw, I think it's maybe too slow. But it might honestly be better than this thing. I'm going to submit this and see what happens. See more of their deck, and then maybe I'll reassess for game 2. That makes some sense to me. Yeah, they probably have like... They might have like Scrounger, which Anger would kill, but so would... This end is good. I can kill their Elf turn 1, then lapse whatever they play. On turn 3. Hopefully they don't have a 2. They did. Do I want to cycle this if they don't do anything? I don't think so. I mean, I do need some action, right? I have nothing right now. I might have to. Because, like, imagine I don't cycle this. Like, I just played this. They played that. I take 3, I go to 12. Next turn, I go to 8. I think I have to cycle it. If I cycle it now and I draw a Triome, I can play the Triome, which is good. But also, I tip them that I have nothing. But at the same time, do I care? They're just going to play it, right? They're not going to not play anything. They might, though. But if I draw a Helix, I don't have white. Like, I could draw the Helix and the white. Like, what am I even trying to draw if I cycle this? I guess I'm trying to make my Unholy Heat... Oh my god, I have to play something. I have to make my Unholy Heat bigger, but... Like, at least with this, I can play... Like, if I draw Iteration, I can go Iteration Helix, right? Okay, that was an Iteration. So I'm semi-dead here. I'm gonna take 8. Assume they have nothing. They get to draw a card, though. They'll find something. Then even if I play Teferi, I die. So I have to play Teferi into Helix. So I'm super dead. I have to draw a Wrath. Yeah, this hand didn't work out, for sure. I guess I could draw Opus. Okay, I'm dead here. Yeah, this, I basically didn't draw anything that mattered. I did take out a card that could deal with the wolf, so... part of that is on me, but I do think I should keep all these cards in my deck. Like, Teferi's not the best versus, like, Questing Beast and stuff like that, but I think I do want a way to permanently get rid of Ronas, and they have Gideons and stuff. The Ranger class is a card I might want to answer, so I think Teferi's go okay. Do I want Dispute? I don't think I do. I think I would rather just keep my deck as is. And still no Wingers, I think. Even though, oh, I could, the portable role deals with Ranger class. The portable role deals with Ranger class. Maybe I should have that. It's too late now, but... ugh, this hand is awful. I think I have to mulligan it. I mean, I do get to raft them a lot, but... alright, this hand is not much better. I mean, we're keeping and putting the Sacred Foundry on the bottom, right? But can I just have turn 3 Opus? Is that too much to ask for? So, this casts Wrath, but this casts Charm. Yeah, I think this is better. I have 1 Wrath in my deck and 4 Charms, so... oh. Okay. So I have something to Mizzix Mastery. I guess I have the Iteration too. Okay, this is not so bad. I would like if they just did this. If they don't have some exiling card. That would be pretty awkward. Like, Kling. I think I have to just play this, right? I'm dead. Basically, if they have anything. They could have, like, Snakeskin Veil. We did pause for them. That's the only card that would make it pause, right? But I don't have a choice, do I? If I just play Teferi, it doesn't accomplish anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this. Okay. Oh, that was a good draw. I even drew the Lapse now, so I can stop them for a turn. That was really good. Yeah, now if they play like Questing Beast or whatever, or like a 5 Regisaur, I can just Memory Lapse it and then play Teferi. Untapped. I mean, I'm gonna Memory Lapse it. The wolf won't let them attack with the thing anyway. Screws. Ooh, good draw again. I'm on a roll here. Do I just send back the Ronas and heat the Ooze and pass? Like, I'm gonna kill the Ooze for sure. But I could send back the Ranger class. Then I have to block. It's pretty awkward. I think I'm fine with them just using this Ranger class. I'm not gonna attack because of Questing Beast. And this lair. So one more turn I can attack with the hole.
Keep Keep up the pace.
You can block with the hole now. If I attack with the hole and the 4/4, that's 11 damage. I'm threatening lethal next turn, but I think I would rather keep my Teferi. I could also just play Teferi and minus on the Still Live champion. Like next turn, they're still not drawing the Ronas, right? And then like in a turn, I got to mastery the whole board. Which is not that much. It's just 2 Unholy Heats in that iteration, right? I think I should play this. I think I want to use my mana. I could also just plus here. Instead of minus. But then they get to... If they animate this for 5, they get to kill the Teferi, yeah. Okay, should I mastery? I kill the werewolf and I play iteration, and that's it, right? Like, the iteration is just gonna draw 1 card, but I think I should. I don't need this. Like, I just need to find one thing. Right, like, next turn they're gonna play Ronas. Like, the 3/3 is not threatening to me, but I just want to use my mana, you know? And I get to cycle this at the end of the turn. Okay. So I'm going to put the Triome in my hand so I can cycle it. I'm glad I did that. It's like I drew 3. Oh, that was unexpected. I thought they were going to play Ronas. I mean, maybe I can just attack next turn now. So yeah, I attack. I can even play a tapped land and tap and play Charm. This costs 7, right? If they attack and kill Teferi, I don't care. Now they're on 7, so this is already lethal. And I can minus the Teferi. So, like, this is probably fine. No, because if they play a land, they can attack the Teferi down to 2, and then I can't minus it. I should probably counter it. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, I do draw this all Storm Giants a lot. It's pretty awkward with this Lightning Helix. So Steamman's untapped, so it's probably Phoenix, right? Like, it has to be. I still might want to Helix like a Sprite Drake on turn 2, so... The question is, do I want to play this farmland, or do I want to maybe cycle it later on? I think it's early enough, and I have so much to do that I will just play it. Yeah, I would guess Phoenix, like they're going to play Op now and stuff, yeah. If they play like Arcanist, I want to be able to Helix it too, right? I can't afford to play the Hallowed Storm Giants just yet. What is this? I'm trying to rebound. Okay. So now do I want to play the Hall of Storm Giants? I don't think so, again. It's pretty awkward. Like, I might want to just keep up Lightning Helix. Then on turns 3, I keep up Charm. Like, the problem is that if they do play, they just drew 2 cards, right? If they do play an Archlist or a Drake, it's going to punish me so much to not be able to Helix it immediately. That I think I should just keep the ability to Helix it immediately, even though I do take 2 damage. This has been very awkward. For sure. Because then I'll take another 2 damage to play a Charm. I still won't play the Hall next turn. They didn't need to play that right now. I guess I could play Censor. They're also on 16. They're almost dead. This iteration card, I mean, I know everyone loves this card so much, but it has been awkward for me. It really has. It's not that good. Let's play something so I can counter it. Because, like, oh, that one I can just kill. Right? Do I want to take one? Just to make sure they don't go, like, Arcanist? Do people even... No one plays Arcanist, but... Also, if they do have a trick, then I save a lot of life by just killing it. Okay, now finally I get to play my Hall of Storm Giants. I'm very pleased about this. And then I even get to play Charm and not discard a card, because I finally got to play a spell. Ooh, interesting. I was going to say, do I want to use this to dig for land and then play a Charm? But now I think I just want to discard the Opus. And then Gearhulk them. Like, I could even do a main phase to dodge counter spells. Obviously, it's going to depend on what they do here, but... If they play Looting, I could counter it, but they don't have a Phoenix in hand, or they didn't yet, so they have to draw it. And, like, one Phoenix is not going to be the end of the world. Like, this is just draw 2, discard 2, so it's neutral cards. And drawing 2 would be good for me. So do I want to stop them from draw 2, discard 2, or do I want to draw 2 myself? Is the question. I think I just want to stifle their development a bit. Like, they don't have anything, otherwise they would have played it, right? I'm just going to counter it. And if they have something like a Mystical Dispute, I get to bait that and get the Gearhulk them. Do I ever want to discard this? I'm so close to just casting it, but I think so. Search for lands, but not then be unable to play Gearhulk? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just pass. And then make a 4/4 token for Shark. Do they have Delirium? They have a Drake? Yeah, they do have Delirium. Shock me. Okay, so they're playing the Entity card. Alright, that's the only thing that makes sense. Which I guess I should let resolve. And I hope they don't have Dispute in their deck, because if they do, it's going to be a bit awkward. 2 top. Like, most people, like, don't play Dispute or play 1. No, they had it. Ugh. Okay, so... 3. If I cycle this Shark, it's 4. I think I should do that. Wait, but I'm putting a sorcery in the graveyard, right? Yeah, so this is going to be 4. Okay, so I definitely want the Holy Heat in my hand. And I guess I want red-white mana tapped or island untapped. Because I can play another iteration here. So I'm going to take island. Wait, no, oh my god, I did it wrong. But I don't want to play another iteration, because if I find a lead, I can't cast it. But if I find a Helix, I can. I think it's worth it. Like, it has to be Helix or Heat, right, for it to work. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, it didn't work. So the Mastery goes in my hand, and then Library the Anger, and then I exile the Steam Advance. Then I Unholy Hit this. And I play Sacred Foundry. Sacred Foundry. I think this was worth it because, like, I have a lot of action. Like, I had the Shark Typhoon, I had the Opus, so I wanted to just get things going, right? I don't want to spend another turn using this. I just want to... Phoenix! That's lucky. Okay, I'll get to kill that with my Mizzix Mastery. I'm so close to flashbacking it, to just kicking it, but, I mean, I have to kill it, right? I can't just wait. This is gonna kill me, it's 10 damage. I can cast the Opus next turn if I have to. Wait, I should tap my mana properly. I should keep blue for sure. Yeah, I don't want to keeping the Sacred Foundry up, because then if I find Charm, I can't cast it. Okay. I could cycle the Shark for 1 to block. Probably bad. Yeah, next turn I'm gonna mastery everything. Like I can discard the Opus too, and this is probably I'm gonna draw 1,000 cards. So I assume it's gonna win me the game. Alright, so they have 1 mana. Do they play Spell Pierce? No, right? There's no way. Alright, I'm doing it. So I should probably just deal 1 damage with Opus there. No, I should just Helix this. They can, like, dispute the... I should have resolved those last. So I knew what was going on, but I wasn't thinking. Oh no, the Helix is gonna fizzle. I'm not gonna gain 2, 3. I really did not think any of this through. Yeah, I was just clicking things at random. Which, in retrospect, was bad. Do not recommend, but... Hopefully I don't get, like, punished by, like, 4 Phoenixes and I die. Like, that would be pretty awkward. It's really unlikely, but it could happen. Like, I should have just gained 3 life, obviously. I did not consider the order of stuff. Please don't be 2 phoenixes. Oh my god. Okay, only 1. And now I can Opus and still kill them. Alright, that was closer than it needed to be. I guess it was not that close, but... Attack! Alright then. I mean, they were dead to this Hall of Storm Giants anyway. So that was an awkward attack, but I guess they were pretty dead. Alright, Disputes I want, Narcets I want, Anger I definitely want. I don't think I won Nezahal. Teferi's bad. I think Mastery is also bad. Charm is not great. Costs too much. Prismari Command is not good. Oh, I think Unholy Heat is better than Prismari Command for sure, because it kills the Sprite. Like, that's one of the ways you lose. And it kills the Sprite while also killing Phoenix and maybe potentially later on killing an X4, right, or X3 like I did. Do I want this Nezahal card? It doesn't block anything, so it's only if they have, like, a lot of counter spells. Like, they have to have a lot of counters for this card to be good. And, like, very few threats. And they have, like, the entity and they have the regular threats, right? This seems okay. Do I want Wrath? I probably do want Wrath, actually. And not want the other Charm. Iteration is not great. Lapse is not great either, but... I think this is okay. I could have Veto as well. Like... Veto can help in counter wars and can just counter a cantrip. It might be better than, but I do like that this counters the Drake. So does Dispute, and I'm gonna take out an Iteration because I always do that. Yeah, this end is acceptable. Like, the biggest threat is they just go Sprite Drake, pump it into an X4 and kill you, like, counter your Wrath. But that is something that can happen anyway. Like, I can't just plan... You know, I can't not keep any hand that doesn't have a 1-mana spell. Like, they did mulligan to 5, too, which makes it harder for them to just do that, right? Just go off with that card. The next turn, I'm going to veto any card drawing, because they are 5 cards, right? So any card drawing that I can trade. Any card that I can trade is good for me. Like, if I go 1 for 1, it's going to be great. Yeah, unfortunately, they play the looting now, right? I thought there was a chance they would play the looting next turn, because then, you know, it counts as one of their spells. They only have 5 cards. They don't have that many spells. So they want to get up to 3 spells. They will play the looting the next turn. Oh, they don't have a land, too? Yeah, this is not going to be great for them. I should lapse it, I think, right? Well, the problem is that we're both just passing the turn back and forth. Like, I also don't have a land, but... Oh, I lied. I have a land. I don't want to, like, discard the Opus and then play the Gearhulk because I want this mana. Boo. Hall of Storm Giants in this deck is kind of ambitious, isn't it? Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, there's no way this goes badly for me. So I do all I can and they don't have mana up. Like, this deck discards a lot. I guess there's no Brainstorm anymore. So, like, you don't get rid of excess lands as much, but there's still, like, Fateless looting, right? You're still not gonna get to 7 lands most of the time. You're dead. Are they dead? I guess they could have, like, Unholy Heats and stuff. But, like, this is basically their one turn, right, to do anything. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kill them. And I have the Charm. And... like, do they have... They don't even have the kicker thing now. Like Delirium. Right, because they don't have any lands. So it's sorcery, instant, and creature only. Now they can put a land in the graveyard. So maybe I should have countered this. But like, I have the Helix and... Alright. We're going to draw again! It's 4/4/4. I don't think I can keep this. It's too clunky. Alright, this I will keep. What do I get rid of? Is it just the Mastery? It might be Teferi, honestly. Like, the Mastery, at least I already have, like, Helix to use with, and... Obviously, not knowing what they're playing makes this decision a lot harder, but I think it should be Teferi. Like, if I draw Opus, then it makes this hand, right? Well, of course. The worst matchup in the format, the Mirror. Yeah, I have to play Iteration next turn, right? Like, I don't really have a choice. I want lands. If they go Opus, then, like, the Mastery, I mean. They could also just play Teferi next turn, but what am I going to do, just pass and lose the game? Right? I don't think that works. Do I want lands, or do I just want this Charm? Like, the Charm is greedy, but I think I have to be greedy here. Like, I have to win this game somehow, right? I have to have good cards. Like, if they have, like, 3 Teferis and 2 Masters... Okay, that's not nearly as bad as... This is bad. Okay, yeah, I don't know what I was supposed to do here. Like, I don't think I can just pass and not play lands for the rest of the game, basically. I'm just... Now maybe I want the land? And not the Opus? And now I have to discard too? I could just cycle this and just, like... No. Gearhulk also kills me at this point. It's just too much. It's too many things. Did I discard a Memory Lapse? Discard a Helix, but... like, the Helix is actually, like, I can actually hit the Teferi with it.
We need to move quickly.
I should have floated the mana. I know I can do this with impunity.
Hurry.
How do I win this? This started so badly. They had a turn 4 Teferi on the play. And I'm just discarding my counter spells because I don't have lands. How am I supposed to win? Do I draw 2? Like, I have to discard one of my best cards. Are they gonna Gearhulk Opus me? That wouldn't be that bad. Because I get to Gearhulk Opus them. Like, I killed the Teferi. I might just die, but...
I won't let you win.
I'm 1 mana short of doing the whole thing. I have the Unholy Heats, but I'm still missing stuff. But if they kill my Torrential Gearhulk, obviously I'm missing the Unholy Heat to begin with, but...
I know what must be done. Keep up the pace.
Excuse me? I mean, if they have... I don't have a choice. I don't think this is going to turn out well for them. Like, now I'm going to Gearhulk this Charm, steal their Elemental, attack down their Teferi. If they have Lapse, I have Lapse. So the Teferi goes to 1. If they have Wrath, it's bad for me. But that's about it, right? I don't think they really thought this through. Does this work? Like, they even attack with their 1/1. They could have 2 Angers, right? That's definitely a thing. 2 Angers and a Memory Lapse.
You know what?
Like, most people only play 2 Angers. And they didn't even try to lapse my Gearhulk. I mean, they know I have to have a lapse, because I discarded a lapse when I had 8 cards. So, like, it's basically telegraphed that I have more. Otherwise, I wouldn't be discarding it, but... So do I want to attack a Gearhulk into a Hall of the Storm Giants? It's pretty awkward. I might just have, like, Mastery Helix this Teferi. No. Do I want to fight for this? They get to play a Gearhulk, though. But their Gearhulk gets nothing, gets a Lightning Helix, because they're going to tap 2 lands. I lose a land, a treasure if I fight for it. I probably should fight for it, though. Like, if they lapse it... Do I care? I don't know why I'm doing it. This is too complicated. Like, they don't get to Gearhulk back the Charm, because that's going to be on top of their deck. They already used the Teferi. Like, now they get to activate the Hall, but... Okay. They can go, like, Iteration. Test it again. Okay, that's not that bad. They can have 2 lapses. Well, there's a Charm on top right now. That's pretty bad for me. I think I should just attack. So now do I just play Teferi with Lapse up? If they have 2, they have 2. Or I could just play Mastery and Helix the Teferi. Because, like, if I play Teferi, they can just kill it with the Hall. It's not that great.
I'll have a better plan next time.
Okay, this Hall is going to be quite annoying, but what do they have in hand? Like, they haven't done anything. Is it a bunch of, like, Magma Opuses? I really wish I hadn't discarded my Memory Lapse there, but I think I kind of had to do that. I'm not sure. Draw Lightning Helix. That's already shave off the clock from the Hall of Storm Giants. Yeah, how am I supposed to beat that Hall? Well, if I try to lapse this, they will just charm the lapse, but I think that's fine. Draw a card. I thought they were gonna minus on my Gearhulk. Okay. Now I get to kill the Teferi. Unless they have Unholy Heat. Okay, they don't. So should I just jam my own Teferi? I think so. It's not gonna get much better. Like, they get to attack it down, but, like, that buys me so much time.
We need to move quickly.
Now if they get to attack, like, if they attack the Fury, I might actually just kill them. They might attack me to try to kill me. No, okay.
You should have seen that coming.
Oh, good draw. Should I Helix them now? I kind of think I should. Because I don't want to die to 2 Helixes. Like, they have had so many cards in hand for so long. How many charms have we played? I could block. So they have 3 mana up. If they have land, Helix, I'm dead. If I don't do something. But otherwise, I win. Because I get 6 plus 14. I could Helix them now, and then make a smaller short, but then I don't win. I could also just steal it. I think I have to just take the damage, and if they play a land, I'll reassess. Like if they play a land that casts Lightning Helix. Okay, now this is good. Now I probably win, right? Unless they have Unholy Heat. So now, yeah, I'm just gonna play this. 2, 6. So I have Helix and Master, so I can play 2 Helixes. So even if they Helix me, I think they're dead. There are a bunch of Unholy Heats are not dead. This is a sweet game. Oh. I'm really happy I won. I feel like it was pretty tough. Yeah, I think my opponent had a huge lead, and they kind of blew it a little bit. The pivotal moment was probably the turn where I stole their thing and attacked. Yeah. Okay, so Dispute goes in, Narset goes in, Discontinuity goes in, Nezahal goes in, and Veto goes in. Anger goes out. Helix goes out. Mastery goes out. And I need to cut one more. Prismari Command is good, I think. I could cut an Unholy Heat. Like, Unholy Heat is not bad, though. They have Gearhulks and stuff. Obviously, it's hard to trigger, right? But, like, it helps doing Teferi, Narset. When I built the sideboard, I knew I had one too many cards for control, and I thought, I'm just gonna figure it out as I go. Because I knew the numbers didn't match up. I can take out an Opus, I think. Alright, this sounds reasonable to me. I think 3 Unholy Heat is enough. I don't want 4. But I think I do want them. Like, they're pretty good in long games. They kill Teferi, they kill Gearhulk, they kill Shark Tokens, they kill Narset. Like, they kill anything if you can turn them on. It's not that easy to turn them on, but in a super long game, you will, right? There is going to be an artifact creature in the graveyard or something. So I think it's fine. And early on, it can actually just kill, like, it can help shoot down an Narset or something. It sounds pretty bad, but I think it's a keep. Like, I'm not in a rush to do stuff. Do I have time? Okay, I have plenty of time. I've been like, you know, I'm talking and playing at the same time. This game was super long. I thought maybe I was just gonna run out of time. Do I want to sack this farmland? Or cycle this farmland, rather? Probably. I don't even have red mana. I mean, I do have 2 Gearhulks. Can't dispute that. I should just play this and maybe make a 1/1 Shark if they have another Narset. Right? If not, I'll just cycle this farmland. Ooh, they don't have a land. That's good. I even want to cycle something here. I mean, I want lands. Lands are good. But I want untapped lands. I'm going to cycle one. Like, putting a land in the graveyard is also good because I have a bunch of Unholy Heats in my deck. Okay, getting to destroy that treasure is going to be good. Now they could go Mastery Dispute. But like, Mastery should probably not be in their deck anymore. Right? Is Helix gonna be in their deck is the question. Okay, that's a lot of this thing. So now I can't just play... Like, they can just play Gearhulk. Ugh. I guess I should have planned for that. How do I beat that? It's gonna be hard. Let's think. It's probably gonna start with Charm, draw 2. Or is it better to just cycle or Shark Typhoon and then make it? No, I think I need to draw 2. Probably just going to play the Shark Typhoon. Right, and if they had Teferi, I lose. I could also just play this and draw 2, but... I think hard casting Shark Typhoon is my best bet. I didn't have a land, so they might not have land Teferi. The Shark Typhoon will not necessarily win me the game, by the way. I'm fully aware. But I think it's my best bet. I think it's better than playing Gearhulk. Okay, they didn't find land. That's good. Wait, what? So they had that in hand already. Okay, I guess I could just play this. That's a way. So now if they do have Teferi, they get to shrink my Shark Typhoon. Do I want to block? I probably want to block. Yeah, I definitely want to block, I think. I mean, they can play Gearhulk here, which sucks, but... Like, they needed to draw a land there. If they play Gearhulk Opus, I guess I can play my own... I can play my own Gearhulk and still... Or I can just play Prismari Command. Like, if I play my Raugrin Gearhulk, I steal the token. Ooh, I take 2, I go to 5. So if they have another Gearhulk, like, I get to kill this, but I make a Nate 8. Or I can just play this. I think it's better to Gearhulk it, though. So, like, say they have another one, right? I go to 1 life, right? Is that right? Because they get to... No, I die. Because they get to tap the other 2 and kill. So I'm dead. I don't like being dead. Do I have a choice? Yes, I can Prismari Command, draw 2... Ooh, I can use this. Wait, I don't have to take 2 damage. I messed up. But I get to kill this card. If I take 2 damage, then I get to do everything. No, I don't. Because I can't draw and make a treasure and this card. So I think I just have to go for this. It's pretty tricky. It's pretty tricky. So if I Prismari Command this, I can take 2 damage then I'll do everything, right? So I take 2 damage, and I destroy and loot. No, but then I don't have a treasure to cast a Gearhulk. Oh no, because it's not Mastery, it's Gearhulk. So I'm short a land. Oh my god, what do I do? If I kill this, make a 3/3, I have to block? No, I don't have to take damage, I'm so stupid. I could have done everything then. So if they have Gearhulk, I don't die. They kill this, tap, I take 5, I go to 2. 2 is not great, but they probably don't have Helix left in their deck. Right? And like, they're threatening losing the game here, right? Like, I have lethal. No, I only have 13. But if they play Gearhulk, if I get rid of that 4/4, like, I actually have lethal, they don't know that. Because I can get rid of the 4/4. So I can command the Gearhulk, the untapped Gearhulk, and then make a... and then Torrential Gearhulk the Charm to steal the token and kill them. But if they have Mastery, which probably shouldn't be in their deck, but they have a mana left, so they have Dispute almost for sure now. I could have done better. So if I Prismari... Can I win through Dispute? Is the question. I Prismari Command, I kill that and I make a token. Or I don't even do anything, I just attack with my 8/8. And then I play Prismari Command. I have to survive 1 turn. They probably don't have Helix. I could just play this to make a 6/6. It does work, right? I make a 6/6 and the turn ends. Then I have Prismari Command. Even if they counter it, I make a token. And then I have the Memory Lapse, which I make a token. I think I should cast this. Maybe I don't like how I played this game. I played badly. I messed up Lester. I was thinking and talking at the same time, and the time got to me, and I miscalculated everything. I should have won this game, I think. I mean, I might still win. Not that easy for them to just deal me more damage, but... Okay, that is irrelevant. Yeah, I definitely should have won this game. This is a big not well played by me. But it happens. My heart was in the right place, I think. If I had like 2 more minutes, I would have figured it out. I got scared. I got scared of like the miscalculating and stuff. Okay, it's getting better and better. Now I think I probably do win. Right? Like, they attack, I Prismari Command. They have to have... So I probably want to destroy target artifact and you 2 damage to any target. Like, even if they counter it, I can just block with this stuff, right? Like, if they just dispute it, I'm fine with that. Okay, that was sweet. Yeah, I think definitely could have played better, but also good at identifying the ways to win, right? Like, the ways to lose, rather. So not entirely unpleased, but yeah, definitely could have been better. And can we win the die roll this time? Or are we going to be 0 for 5? Nope, 0 for 5. I'm glad this wasn't best of 1. In best of 1, losing the die roll, you're like automatically 30% to win. Best of 3, there's more game. You know, given our record, this is evidence of that. Awkward hand, not gonna lie. Again, I have the Hallstorm Giants and Helix and Charm problem. I think I have to keep, though. Like, on the play, this would be an easy keep because I got the Charm stuff. Do I have to keep? Plus, I had no idea what they're playing. But if I draw a red land, this can potentially be very good versus all kinds of decks. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Like, there are too many outs for it to be good. Right, red land makes it good versus anyone. And also them not being a creature deck. Okay, this is not the best start. We're gonna need a red land now. We do get to steal that. Maybe sack our hand. That'll be great. We get to steal that too. Lots of things for us to steal. If we steal that and sack it, there's bound to be some red lands. No Root Wallace, please, sir or madam. All right. Good draw. Maybe even better than red land. Maybe the best draw. Yeah, I really hope they just flash back that Fateless Looting and right, to turn on their Chandler or something. I don't know what they can do there, but... Or they could sack their Bowman. What are they gonna do? What is this? Just 3 damage and potentially more damage later on? How can I look at it? Let me look at it! So now if I Opus, they get to discard their Courier, but who cares? I'm gonna discard second. So the next one is gonna do 4. Yeah, I'm casting this. And I have to deal 3 damage here, because once they sack this, it will grow, but... Ooh. Did they just not play their Root Waller? Why not? Huh. Oh. Okay. So now I have Helix. I'm effectively at 16 if I draw a land. I'm in a pretty good spot, I think. I have 2 charms to draw cards and like counter stuff and steal stuff. Ooh. Maybe I should have just played Charm Draw 2 to try to find a red land to like get stuff going, but I think I have no idea what's going on right here. Okay, I accept. So if it's in the graveyard... Why can't I read this? Okay. If it's in the graveyard, you put a counter in it. And then if it has 5, it comes back to play with +1/+1. Alright, well, I draw 2. Then I can play Teferi and tap 2 lands. Never mind. So do I want to... I have 9 cards over here. Do I want to play a red land? I could still just play Teferi and plus, but I don't get to cast anything. So maybe I should just play the red land and discard a card and pass. You know, like just counter something. Or I could play Teferi minus, but that's bad versus the den. I can't gain control of this, unfortunately. What am I going to discard? Probably this iteration. I don't need it. I could have just also played the Charm to try to draw an untapped red land. Do I want this untapped land? I think I do. Because, like, if I draw... Yeah, maybe I want this more. I don't know. It's tricky. So now I don't even have to Charm to draw 2, right? I can just play Teferi and tap. Is this fine? Yeah, this has got to be fine. I think I got like Fiery Tempered or something. I could counter it. Probably don't want to. So for each R. So I have to spend 5 Rs. Ooh, we're gonna steal that. It's only gonna be a 1/1 for us, but... Ooh, combo! Graveyard? I mean, I can just cast it next turn. Probably Graveyard's best. I have to be careful not to die here. As long as I don't die, I think I'm in good shape. I'm not gonna attack. They might play a haste creature. They might just activate their land. Who knows what they're gonna do. Oh, I should maybe have just Helix this. I don't have the Charm anymore. I'm stupid. I should just play my tap land. I was like, I want to keep up mana for the Charm, but I don't have it. Yeah, I'm gonna Helix this now. I want to gain. I don't want to take damage. Maybe I should have played Unholy Heat there. So now I have 2 types, 3 types. So 1 more type, and this is on. Ooh, I was gonna I'm gonna wait for Gearhulk for Helix, but now I even drew the thingy. I can even attack. I think. Might as well play this, right? Maybe I'll loot into something. I could just Helix them instead of Opus, but I think I'm pretty safe here. Man, I don't have to. Might as well. Could minus, and then Holy Heat and just attack. This doesn't get haste, right? I didn't steal one thing. Oh, I can just kill them. No, I'm 1 short. No, I have this land. This kills them, right? 1 + 7. So even if they kill this... Okay, learning as we go. What a lot of these cards do. I want the portable holes for sure. I want the Unholy Heat. I want the Anger. I don't think I mean, the Teferi is bad. I want the Wrath, too. I don't want the Shark Typhoon. I probably don't want, like, 2 Charms. I don't want... But the Charm is good, though, at stealing creatures, right? I think this is the best. Do I want the Teferi? Probably not. Like, I have to be careful not to just take, like, have a bunch of 1 mana removal and then nothing to do. Right? That is the biggest danger when you're... So I don't want to take out, like, all my Teferis and all my Iteration, all my everything, all my Charms. But I think I can take out 1 more. Maybe 1 Memory Lapse is bad. Right, perfect. Iteration is better which you have more 1s, right? Like, you can just in turn 3 play Iteration and find the 1 mana spell to play. And I have 7 1s, so I have a lot of 1s. Yeah, this sideboarding makes some sense to me. I don't know what they're sideboarding, though. I should probably just look at Karsten's Twitter. Do they have, like, Roiling Vortex or something? Oh, man, so close. Yeah, I can't keep this. Alright, keeping this. Which one do I want to get rid of? Steam Vents, probably? No, but Steam Vents, if I have to shock something on turn 1, is the one card that will let me do that. But do I want to shock something on turn 1? What are the odds I want to shock something on turn 1? Like, I do take 2 damage, and I have an Anger. So it might be better to just wait. But I want to give myself the choice, but these lands are so much better later on. Like, I want double white, I think. I have Wrath in my deck. And, like, Portable Hole and Helix and stuff. Well, this is actually a very interesting decision. Will I want to shock a dragon if they play it on turn 1? I don't think I will. I'm just going to get rid of this. I think it's best. And let me go look up Karsten's deck. So there's Hazarats in this sideboard, Ferocitons, Roiling Vortexes, and Nashandra. Okay. So I'm going to take a ton of damage, but I'm going to clear everything next turn. So I can just play this step. I mean, I guess I'll take a ton of damage if they can turn this on, which is not a given, right? If they have a looting, they might be able to turn it on. It's not that easy. Could use this to gain 2 life, or 3 life, if they start going off with it. Like, they have 2 cards in hand. Oh, they just capped the card? Okay, so they're not even trying. It must be a really good card. I could wait. If they go land Torbrand, that's a problem, but I mean, I think I just have to do this. If they go land Torbrand, I hope they'll play some other stuff so I can block it. That was also not great for me, in retrospect. Maybe I should have waited. This does deal with Planeswalkers. And like, if they play a 1, I can steal it. That's kind of annoying. I think I should counter this. I wanted to draw 2 really badly, but... Okay, so how do I deal with that? I thought I would have to shoot the Den of the Bugbear, but... Let's see what we're working with.
Yep, you're going down.
Should probably let this resolve. I had to draw 2, right? I mean, I guess I can just charm in response. If I draw like a Memory Lapse, I might cast it. Okay, so I can kill Chandra. Like I can double Unholy Heat and then Unholy Heat again. But I might just die. Oh no, it's a 7. Never mind, I can't do that. I might have to kill this. No, but then I Gearhulk and shoot Chandra for 2. But then they get to play a 3/3 Phoenix. But 3/3 Phoenix is... Like, next turn just can do so much damage. Let me think. No, the Chandra won't die. Yeah, never mind. I think I have to do this. I mean, I could also just shoot the Chandra and then take 2. And then next turn I'll... I think this is okay. Oh, I guess I could kill the Phoenix here. Why didn't I do... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I just took 2 damage for no reason. I guess it is for no reason. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, that was good. So now they can't bring back the Phoenix just yet. How do I win that? I really messed up. So now this Chandra is at 6, right? I think what I have to do is just Helix the Chandra and Gearhulk the Chandra again. Because like if I try to, what is the card? Oh, I should have not let this happen. Now I can just die. Because like if they just play. I could kill it, but then they play the Bone Crusher Giant. That's the problem. Like, I have to kill this Chandra. How do I do that? I could take 1, Helix the Chandra, go to 5, then Gearhulk the Chandra again. It dies. I go to 8, but they have this. They have a lot. Or I could Gearhulk block. They get to draw a card, but shoot Chandra for 2. Then kill... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cycle this. Okay. But like, I might just die to... I should not have done this, I don't think. It's too late. I might just die to this Phoenix in 2 turns, right? I definitely messed up. It's too complicated. I should have won this game, I think, if I played better. Again, I panicked a little bit. Not on time, though. Just, like, on game time. I thought I didn't have enough time to do stuff. It might have been better for me to just... Yeah, I don't know what I should have done. Like, now if they just bring back Phoenix and attack with everything, I'm in trouble, right? Because, like, I take 4, I go to 4, Phoenix is lethal, and I don't have an answer to it. So I have to charm into another Lightning Helix. That's basically it. That's my only choice. Or Anger. Anger would be great. So I have a bunch of draws that I can hit. But... That's better for me. I think. Maybe not. I go to 3, it's the same thing. I just have to pass, right? Now if they activate the den again, that's gonna be good for me. I don't think they will though. I think now they're just gonna bring back Phoenix, right? If they also just attack, that's good for me. Like, they have the Remnant brewing, so they could just attack, but that would be bad. Yeah, I guess they have no idea what I have. So, like, I could have a bunch of different things. I guess I should draw 2. Their play was better, because now he doesn't lose to anger. Like, my previous play of reanimating the Phoenix. Alright, I'm dead. That was unfortunate. I messed up, I think. I should not have lost. I got so much value out of my anger and stuff. Like, that was bad. Do I want this shark? Like, Memory Lapse is really not that great, but they have Chandras and stuff. I think I just want to resubmit my deck. It was really close. Like, I really messed up with that. Like, if I had 2 more life, I think I would actually be okay. And I think it was a big mistake to just Helix the Chandras away when I knew that it was my only way to beat the Phoenix. Like, I had no more answers to Phoenix. So I should have considered that. I really messed up there. I'm gonna be very upset if this cost me the dollars. But what can you do? I already didn't get punished last match, so this one I definitely got punished. So what should I have done? Like, I could have waited, but the problem is, like, I knew my opponent kept a really good card because they were giving up 3 surveils for it. And I just looked at the deck list and I saw there was 1 Chandra, so I thought it was Torbrand. But it could have been the Chandra. It could just be outland, but, like, it's so good for them if they just put a bunch of stuff in the graveyard that the card has to be phenomenal. If it is Chandra, they could just trigger all the things and end up dealing a lot more damage, but maybe I needed the Shark Typhoon in my deck. Not needed, but maybe I would want the Shark Typhoon in my deck just because it is an enchantment that I can put in the graveyard. And, like, if Unholy Heat deals 6, it's so much better than if it deals 2. Like, because that's good versus Chandra and Bookworship Giant and Torbrand. My opponent played well, though. Their play of animating the land instead. Okay. We're going to keep this. We really want a white land, right? But we could even play Iteration on turn 2. I don't think we want to play Iteration on turn 2. Especially because we're looking for lands, specifically. So, like, that's when Iteration shines, right? Oh, I made a mistake here. Kind of bad, actually. I should not have played the red land. I should have played the blue land. Because next turn, if I play Iteration and I hit Unholy Heat, I can't cast it. Right, because I have an island in my hand. So that was actually really bad from me. I should have paid more attention to that. I wasn't paying attention to it. But, like, this is like a game-losing play that you don't even realize until, like, much later on. I might want to play Anger here anyway. But, like, they have Phoenixes and Giants and stuff. Now I drew a red land. So now I'm not going to be punished by it if it does happen. Yeah, I should just play Iteration, I think, and then next turn I can play the Anger. Like, they have a bunch of 3 drops that I haven't played yet, and this Bomat is not that threatening. I just want another Helix in my hand. The Portable Hole answers, like, Vortex, but Helix is just really good. I just killed them with all this stuff. Like, I have 3 Helixes and a Gearhulk, so they're probably just dead to all of that, right? Like, I'm definitely playing the Hallowed Fountain here. I could just also play the Portable Hole, but I don't think I have to. I'm just gonna draw the Helix. And Library the Portable Hole. And this is exiled. Have I mentioned how this is just so unintuitive, the order that this card's resolved in? Because they are. It's very unintuitive. If they have Chandra, I can just double Helix it if I draw another white, too. That's pretty good. They also have a bunch of Hazarets that I can't answer, unfortunately. Maybe I should have more charms. I don't know. I can block with Gearhulk. That's pretty good. I'm just going to draw Magma Opus next turn, and that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Okay, what are you going to do here? Play, like, Pyromancer. That would be the dream. They could just play nothing, but, like, or do some surveilling. That's really bad, though, because, like, if they play nothing, I might just Helix the Bomat Courier, or even the Dragon's Rage Handler. Like, they're so vulnerable to charm and stuff if they play nothing. So they could go land Chandra. That would be the most annoying. But now I drew the right land. So I could just play Anger here. The problem is if they have a bunch of Root Wallows, that's really going to punish me. It might be better to just upkeep Helix the Courier. But like if they have... I think this is fine. If they play like one Root Wallow, like if they play 2 Root Wallows, pump both, I still have 2 Helixes. Like, so if they play Chandra, I kill it, gain 6. Then next turn I have Gearhulk. So like it's really, really good for me. If they play Torbrand, the same thing, right? So like it's only bad if they have 2 of those. And I'm building up to a kicked Mizzix mastery over here. Like, I'm really close. I'm just 2 lands short. Just want to do this. This plus this. Like, I get to kill both. Make a 4/4. Not bad. So now this is my game to lose, right? How do I make sure I don't lose? Like the mastery, I don't need to kick it, but like at the same time, how am I possibly going to lose? If I make a treasure and then just mastery them with like 3 lightning helixes, I can't lose, right? But can I lose if I just do this? Like I got a 4/4, but that's not even better than Gearhulk. I think I'm just gonna Gearhulk the Helix. Maybe on their draw step? Like, so I killed the Bowman? I think I can let them attack. No, I shouldn't let them attack. I should just do this. I should have done it on their draw step. I'm at so much life. Like, I don't want to give them 2 cards. That might be like... Yeah, I think this is okay because... Like, saving this is fine, I think. I don't gain 3 life. Maybe I should just kill the Phoenix and gain 3. And who cares if they draw 2 cards? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Maybe this is bad. This might be awful. I might be really stupid. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack them. I'm at 21. Pretty healthy. So the only relatively problematic thing now would be Torrential Script, right? Like, I have 15 damage here. Right, Like, I Helix them, and then I have Opus Helix. I have so much damage. Is there like a surgical extraction that they can play? Yeah, I have 3 extra damage even. I could even play the Anger, but I shouldn't. Should I play this? Guess might as well. Don't want to deal 3 damage to my Gearhulk. Maybe they're going to find something for their Phoenix. I don't know how many counters this has. 3? Yeah, I don't think there's anything. Okay, not punished. Oh, for 6? Will he ever be on the play? Giganta. So that is probably not Delirium. What is it called? Sacrifice Junt sack food or whatever. Duration Charm Opus. Well, this hand is good. It's kind of low, but we're not playing against a super fast deck. Like my lands are bad. I can steal that. Yeah, probably playing Spirebluff Canal next turn and then playing using the Magma Opus. It's good to put that in the graveyard as quickly as possible, I think. Ooh, we can steal that too. Yeah, I'll be taking a couple of damage, but I think it's fine. This one is a better steal, usually, I think. Even though I'm not going to be sacrificing a lot of creatures. Also, it does sack itself, so I have to do it when they don't have mana up, but they don't have the oven just yet. They don't have a land? Would have been better to make a food than to play the Squadron Familiar, in my humble opinion. Now I could just keep the charm up, which I think is okay. Or I could just play Iteration. I don't want to take too much damage. If they play Oven, it's going to be really bad for me. I think I'm going to play this untapped. And then if I don't end up charming something, I'll just cycle my farmland. And I think that's fine. I really prefer if they grew it first. That's unconventional. I mean, I should just steal it now, I think. Oh, I have a thing. I can grow it. I forgot. I'm so happy. Alright. I guess I want the cycling land in my hand. This away and this here. I'm not gonna attack. I also don't have to kill this Gilded Goose just yet. Another treasure and I can even sack it. Like next turn I can just kill the Gilded Goose once they make a food. Right? Like they have no food, so it's not threatening. Maybe I do want to kill it in response now. I just want this in my hand and this. I don't want this at all. So this in my hand, this is a land to play. Alternatively, I could just put this in my hand and use Iteration again this turn. But I'm not really looking for anything right now. Yeah, I am just looking for something to play next turn, right? That's the gist of it. Because like anything that I find is probably going to be good enough. I just need to find something. But I have all the cycling lands as well. The thing is that getting a land doesn't really do much for me. It's like I already have so many lands. So putting this in my hand, well, it would be okay. Yeah, I'm just going to put this in my hand. And put this in my library and exile this. Oh, I guess I could kill it. Like, they can't do the thing if I can just kill it. Like, so it would save me a life, and if they're not careful, I could actually kill their cat. Oh, they didn't sack it. Why? Okay, well, that works. Okay, so my opponent is playing Giant Food. With that squirrel, the new one. So I think I want Angers. Like, Unholy Heat is okay. It kills Goose and it kills the squirrel. right? Like Portable Holds is that too, but also kills Trail if they have it and kills Witch's Oven. So like that one's really good for sure. Narsa is good versus Corvold. I could cut a Helix. Like I think it kills Mayhem Devil. Do they even have red? They have Corvold. Yeah, they have red. It would be nonsensical not to. I could cut a Helix, but like gaining 3 life is pretty relevant versus a lot of this stuff. But I don't think I want to have like too much exclusively early stuff. I guess Shark Typhoon is okay too. It just kills them. Let me try this. We'll figure it out next game. Yeah, sideboarding versus his decks is always a tricky balance, right? Because you don't want to... Like, they have late game cards, right? Some people have, like, Bolas the Citadel, and some people have Corvolds and stuff. Like, 4 and Trails. But you don't want to have a bunch of expensive answers and just die to their beatdown. Just like a Mayhem Devil, right? But at the same time, you don't want to just have all answers to Mayhem Devil and die to Corvold. So this is a tricky balance. In this case, I know they don't have Bolas the Citadel, for example, because they have Gigantus Stim game too, but I didn't know that when I submitted. Relatively annoying, but I can even steal it if they mess up. I guess it's good to play this land now. Because I drew the Unholy Heat, so I can just always kill the Goose. Should I just kill the Goose immediately? I think I should. It should probably be on their upkeep, though. Because then they tap the Oven. Like, they have the chance to use the Goose for food. But, like, that's their whole turn. They don't know what they're drawing, so it is risky. And, like, they already have so much food. Yeah, so this was good. Like, it tapped their Oven. Basically, that was what it did, like, doing an upkeep. So now if they play, like, Mayhem Devil, I just get to Lightning Helix it. Annoying. There goes my charm. Has to be the charm, right? There's no really... What? I'm so confused. Like, now if they just go bring back Giganta, I just steal the relic, right? Well, not anymore. Tapped or untapped? Like, if they play, depending on what they play... Nah, I think it just tapped. Maybe it should have been untapped. Ooh, now I get to steal it. Yeah, I should have probably been untapped, so I could just even sack this if I wanted to. Boo. Do I want to draw 2 here? I really want to find a land. Well, I could go... A lot of Witches Opens. Should I upkeep or should I let them? I think I should just let them, right? I take 5 damage, but like if they play something like Corvold, I can maybe charm it instead. Yeah, like Corvold would be super threatening because of all this stuff. Like, that's the only card I really care about, right? If they attack, I could just ambush it with the Gearhulk too. Like then I tap 2 lands. Then I need a land to play the Corvold, and I killed the Giganta. Alright, there I have the land already. This is face up, which is, you know, definitely a downside, but... Well, I'm definitely playing this. So this will go to 4, it will go to 6. Like, I have to deal 9 to it anyway, right? They haven't used it yet, but they might draw something. It's gonna deal all the damage. Actually, I have 16. They can gain a bunch of life. Let me think. I think I can deal maybe 3-on-1. They haven't used this yet, right? They haven't done anything yet. So this will go to 10. If I do 3, it will be at 7. Yeah, whatever. Oh, they'll take 2 from this. Forgot that. So maybe I could have just killed them. Like, they are drawing a card, and I don't know what it is, right? Hopefully it's not a cat. Oh, I did it wrong again. Yeah, I guess I just did this. Like, how do I lose, right? I don't really think I can. I could just even play Lightning Helix and Anger to kill all of those two, but I think I just want to keep the Archmage Charm for a potential Corvold here. I might even sack this Relic to draw a card now. They took 2. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sack this Relic. So I sacked a Relic, I charmed this. Like, so there's still a charm in my graveyard if I draw something. Like, now I get to Anger Helix. Okay, yeah, they were pretty dead. I was gonna Anger Helix attack for 9. Alright, so we're already on 1,000. Hopefully we can win one more and get the max prize. Oh, the draw again? All the games? Every single one? Maybe Beyond the Draw is just broken because we keep winning. I think I should keep this. If I didn't have the Unholy Heat, it would be very awkward to have all those lands entering play tapped, but like I do have. So it's Phoenix. Oh, 2 Phoenixes, of course. Oh, I drew Anger, of course. Now I really need to draw another land. Yeah, this is still very good for Den, even if I angered all the Phoenixes away. Because, like, it's just 3 cards, right? This is potentially bad. Like, now I have a choice, right? Like, if they bring back the 3 Phoenixes, should I just Unholy Heat one? Obviously, if I have a land, I don't do that, but I don't have a land. So I think I have to. Otherwise, I'm just going to take so much damage if I don't draw a land immediately. I'm going to take 12 and like fall so far behind. And they might bring the Phoenix back anyway. Like, I can just kill one and then kill the other. Ooh, they're not bringing the Phoenix back. Okay, that's good. I'm guaranteed to find a land because I have Iteration, and that's, you know, everyone knows this is automatic land. Probably want the shark. I'll have to discard. So let's think. If I don't discard it, I'd rather discard a shark. Oh, I can discard a Magma Opus. So if I draw a land, I can just play Mastery. That'll be pretty good. They're almost guaranteed to bring back Phoenix here. Tapped, right? So like if they go, like this will discourage them from just going like Crackling Drake instead. Because there's just an Opus in the graveyard. And if they do that and I do draw land, it's gonna be pretty good. The shark I can put in the graveyard at any time anyway. Anger of the Gods? Unconventional? Let's just discard more Phoenixes. So we're done with this. And please don't have Spell Pierce. Ox? Yeah, I think this is better than doing the Opus thing because dispute. If I Opus and dispute, they have dispute, I die, basically. This is the gist of it. Okay, that's not so bad. Like now, even if they find a third Phoenix, I can just shoot it. Oh, they did find a third Phoenix. So they have 3 types. So there's no instant there? Huh, that's surprising. So I could Unholy Heat that. If they play an instant... Wait, how, that can be... Oh, there's actually no instant. If they play an instant, I get to Mizzix Mastery. Or I can just try to like steal it later on. Like they have the Ox over there. I think this is right. Like, let them shock me or whatever. Like, I just don't want to run this Mastery into Dispute. That's my biggest fear. Like, they can't have a third Phoenix. Oh, it comes back immediately. What? In combat? What the hell just happened? This wasn't in the turn? Oh my god, I'm so bad. Do I just need to anger everything now? Oh, that was brutal. I mean, no, I think still Opus. That was so bad. Oh my god, this is unbelievable. I can't believe I did this. I just put them in... Oh my god. I hate my life so much. Okay, not bad. I'll just Helix this immediately. How many cards do you have here? 14. I'm so tilted right now. Another Phoenix! Oh my god, I got so lucky! 4 Phoenixes? Okay, I'm in trouble now. How do I win this? I mean, I can find another Anger or a Mizzix Mastery. That would work. Well, I really need that. So if I still this, what is in my graveyard? There's no... Right, if I put the Shark Typhoon, it's still just three types. Oh my god, this was unbelievable. So I had to draw 2 and hope to draw land. Anger? Or Helix. Helix would also let me live. Alright, I died. That was a frustrating game. Oh my god. Pretty sure I just win if I don't do that. Like, if I don't make that mistake. Obviously, it was completely, like, it was just an arena mistake, right? Let's see. I don't like Memory Lapse versus them that much. I think you can put 1 Charm. Prismari Command is not great. Teferi is bad. Mizzix Mastery is bad. This seems reasonable. Like, Prismari Command is not awful, I guess. I guess this one to play is better, too. But there's so many 3s already. Maybe on to play, I do want this Charm, and I don't want, like, an Iteration or a Memory Lapse or something. I was so close to winning. Oh my god. This is gonna haunt me for a while. Because, like, I knew they had it, too. I've been playing around it. Like, I specifically thought it was okay. Okay, whatever. Let's forget that. Charm. Or a Lapse. I mean, Lapse on the play is also okay. Yeah, okay. Ugh. I'm gonna delete this recording. You never see it. I was gonna say, hey, you know, the recording was lost. I'm gonna have 4 Phoenixes. This land is kind of medium, I think. Like, it does need something, right? But I do have a lot of inserts in my deck right now. I don't like how this is going. I don't like it. Because, like, I'm just gonna go pass back and forth and they're gonna be drawing a bunch of cards. Huh. This is annoying. I did not predict that. Should I just draw 2? Immediately? I don't want them countering it. They don't know that they should counter it, but they really should. Like, what 3-drop can they play that I'll worry about? I'm just gonna draw 2. This is the own tilt draw 2. Maybe I should have Portable Hole instead of Unholy Heat now. Anger or Iteration? Probably just Iteration to shock this. Right? I also don't want them disputing this. I'm just gonna play Anger. You know, like if I find Narset next turn, for example, it's something I can cast. Oh my god, they're the luckiest people in the world. They didn't play a land, though. So that wasn't lucky. Okay, I just need to be calm and collected. If I counter that, I'll run into dispute almost for sure. I think that's fine. No, okay. I can't even play Anger because they have just 2 Phoenixes in the graveyard. Maybe I could. Like, I can't afford to take that much more damage. Otherwise, they're just going to bring the 2 Phoenixes and I'll die anyway. Like, they bring back the Phoenixes, I Helix one. Okay, this is good. I think I just want to draw 2. Just get some, like, lands going. For my Magma Opuses. So they're probably thinking if they want to make a token or wait until they can record their Phoenixes. Huh, or this. Land. Should I go for it? Probably not. Like, maybe they'll tap out and play, like, Finale or something. I don't have to do this. Okay, now next turn I'll do it. Because I have so many. Okay, after attacks. I guess I should play the Gearhulk, because that doesn't get disputed. Because I have 3 mana. Okay. Did they have another one? Like 4? I could wait a turn. I don't want to do this now. I want to... Yeah, I'm able to play like Phoenix and stuff. Like, I have the Lapse, so they have to have 2 counter spells now. If they do, I'm in trouble. But, like, what are the odds? They can also have a card draw spell. Like, if I lapse in, I have like a knocked, but there aren't that many instant speed card drawing spells. Jesus Christ. I could dispute my Magma Opus, but I think I actually want them drawing dispute if they don't have the card drawing spell right now. Like, it has to be exactly opt, I think. I'm gonna tilt so much if it's opt. Okay, this I accept. Okay. So 4 disputes, huh? Should I just have Nezahal versus them? Like, it looks like the game is gonna go much slower. Like, I could cut some Gearhulks and Opus for Nezahals. This doesn't seem like it's the worst idea ever. Obviously, Nezahal gets kind of recalled by the Improbable Alliance tokens, but I should probably have some of those. Like, that card's really strong. I should maybe have cut some Opus regardless, now that I think of it more. Like, I really want, maybe I'd want the iteration to hit land drops then. I still want to, like, be able to kill the Phoenix and stuff. Yeah, I think the Nezahals are going to be good. So do I want, like, the Memory Lapses? The Memory Lapse is so bad. Especially on the, like... I think I would just rather have Infinite Answers. Like, and try to win with the Nezahals. That seems like the best plan for me. Like, I still have some Gearhulk, some Opus. Like, I can still do the thing. Alright, let's try this. Pretty slow hand. But maybe I should keep, like, I have the Wrath. Like, they had a bunch of disputes, but I think I should keep. Like, I just have to hope their hand is low. Well, there goes the hope. Like, I have to hope that the Wrath carries me. The Charm will maybe carry me too. Also, yes, I know, there's Barking. Like, I have so many cheap answers to draw. I hope they don't just... Oh my god, they're so lucky! They milled a land and a creature! Alright. Fate is conspiring against us. This match. We couldn't win. Like, it's the 2 that they have to mill, right? Like, it's not that easy. Well, I've got to steal that now. Hopefully they don't have, like, also a bunch of Phoenixes to go with it. Sorry, my dog is noisy. Like, they can't just dispute it, so I need to find an answer. I'm gonna cycle my Shark Typhoon here to just make a blocker and draw a card. Yeah, I think the keep was right. Like, my deck has 4 Helix, 4 Unholy Heat, and 3 of the 1 mana spell that I can draw. Yeah, I think I'm just dead here. I mean... I guess I have to let this resolve. Like, I can get into a counter war when you can use their counters to return the Phoenix. Like, they might not have that many cards that they can actually play to return them. I have enchantment only. Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to take the damage and I'm going to Wrath, and then I have to hope they can't deal with it. And they can return to Phoenix again, because otherwise I just die. It would be awkward if they exile a Mystical Dispute there, but I think I think I really cannot just give them the opportunity to use their counters. So they almost certainly have Dispute, but I want to bait it. Like, I don't want them to let it resolve. It's actually really bad for me if it resolves. So maybe I should take 5 damage here. Versus... I don't even know versus what. Just doing it at the end of the turn. But then they can just let it resolve. And like, maybe they don't have a counter, I don't know. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Yeah, I'm pretty dead. Like, I'm just gonna Wrath, they're gonna return 2 Phoenixes. And then that will kill me. Unless I draw like Anger. I might just die immediately now. If they have 3 spells, I'm dead. Or Finale. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I feel like obviously I messed up with that click, but also they got so ridiculously lucky this entire match. It was pretty absurd. Like every time they play looting, they just put 2 Phoenixes in the graveyard whenever it was. Oh, we're in play. First time. This hand, it's good that we are, because this hand is much better on the play. It's still not a great hand. But I think on the play I can keep. On the draw, I would probably mulligan this. Like on the play, I can just lapse my opponent's first 2 plays, most likely. I hope they're just playing a random creature deck, so I don't have to think about it. Oh no. No. I don't want to play the mirror for all the money. I hate playing the mirror. It's the only bad matchup. What are they thinking? Like they maybe have Memory Lapse and they're thinking if they should try to keep Memory Lapse up for my intervention or whatever it is called, Expressive Iteration. Yeah, it is the mirror. Damn it. My hand's also not good for the mirror because it doesn't do anything. Opus? They should probably just cycle it if they can. Yeah, I think it's almost always right to do that on turn 2. Like, it would take a very specific hand to not do that. I guess I can play this tapped. There's no point in playing it untapped, right? Like, if they have... They're not going to have Dispute. I guess they could have another Magma Opus and then Mastery and Memory Lapse of their own. But... I'm just going to die to the Hall of the Storm Giants attacking 3 times. They also have the Castle of Antris. I mean, do I want to just play a naked Gearhulk? I don't think so. Wait, they didn't use the Castle of Antris? Why did they play... What? So confused. Oh my god, so many memory lapses. Like, what did they think I was going to do with 5 mana instant speed? I don't know. Like, if I wait some more mana, some more turns, I think I should just do this. Like, I have a lot to do with my mana anyway to, like, force something through. So now I can have Memory Lapse if I try to Gearhulk. But next turn I can maybe get them. Yeah, now they can't do it. I should probably just Helix them at the end of the turn, right? Like, I'm gonna have to discard, but I'll discard the Anger. I think I want a land, actually. Tapped, huh? this is time. If they charm it, I'm just gonna let it happen, I think. I mean, I could Memory Lapse my Gearhulk at this point. It's probably worth it. I would rather draw a Gearhulk. And I have 2 lapses more. The problem is that even if I manage to kick this, there's nothing here. Like, it doesn't actually win me the game. This I probably want to cycle. But not now. I think I want to keep all my mana up. I think I go for this. Like, if they flash back the Master, it's going to be super annoying. But... another one? Jesus. So do I want to let this resolve? Which one do I... Then they're going to draw Lapse and the Charm. Then drawing the Charm again is not that great. Because, like, they just 2 my 4/4, but... And they, like, but then drawing a Lapse again is bad too. Do I want the Lapse, or do I want 2 random cards? I think I have to risk that they don't have Mastery. I think that's the only way I win. Then I should not have drawn the Memory Lapse. I don't want the Memory Lapse. Yeah, that was maybe bad. Wait, what? I got a bonus, I guess. Yeah, like if they play the kicked Mastery, it's gonna be a disaster. But, like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. Like, I don't think I really had much of a choice there. They should just kill my Gearhulk, right? With the Anger as well. Huh, no, okay. And steal the 4/4. By now the Gearhulk's gonna be alive. Like, they're gonna draw a bunch of cards, but... I don't know if this is gonna be good enough for them. Like, they're gonna take a ton of damage. Didn't they have an Anger there? They did. That was weird. Like, now I get to play Opus. I just killed them. If they don't have Mystical Dispute, they're dead. Because, like, I get to tap this and deal them 4. And I have the Lapse. Like, they might just have to Helix me now. Oh, Unholy Heat? But only 3. Should I play around Dispute? The way I play around Dispute is by discarding Opus and using Mastery. I mean, that's all eggs in that one basket. If they have something like Shark Typhoon, I no longer kill them. No, but I do because I can tap their lands, and I can Anger the Shark Typhoon away. So I think this works. They're in 9, right? I have the Memory Lapse. What can they do? I can tap 1 land, but that's enough. I think this is good. I think this is just it. This is really, if I'm missing something here, this is going to be a disaster. Because I'm using all my cards. They know I have a Memory Lapse. Wow! Okay, I did not expect that. I mean, I did this turn, but I did not expect the game to go this way before. That's for sure. So no helixes. No masteries, no angers, and -1 opus. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, my opponent had like 100 cards in hand that resolves a kick and mastery. Yeah, they really messed up there. Like, they should have just stolen my 4/4 with the charm, and killed my Gearhulk with the 4 damage plus the anger. Like, I think that would have just done it. Even, yeah, they really messed up, I think. They should have cast the anger anyway, because they could have just drawn a Helix. But, yeah, that was weird. And maybe I'm missing something there. Maybe I am. I really might be. Ooh, great hand. Great hand for the mirror. I'm gonna cycle this at the end of the turn. They don't do anything. Hopefully they do something and I get to dispute it and then play Narset. Like they play their own Narset. So do I want the 6th land? I think I would rather cycle this. Like, I'm gonna draw more lands. I'm not that desperate for lands. Like, I already have 6. I'll have 5 when this is done, but... Do I want to fight over this? I probably do. I could also... Yeah, I think I do. It's gonna be pretty important to find lands here. Like, everyone has, like, Nezahals and stuff, so I like fighting over this card drawing. So now I can play Narset. If they have 2 disputes, that sucks, but... Like, people usually only play 2. If they answer with Teferi, that's okay, because the Narset counters the Teferi. If they mine it, I have the Holy Heat. Ooh. I want all of those. Maybe I want the Opus? The Charm is something I can cast immediately, which would be pretty good. But, no, I think the Opus is better. I have so much mana. And I have the Gearhulk already. Yeah, this is completely okay. Maybe I should have gotten the Charm. Like, if they have another one, another Teferi, that's awkward. I could just play a Gearhulk here, too. that doesn't even sound that bad. Like, what do they do if I resolve a Gearhulk? Even if I flashbacking nothing. Like, isn't that pretty good? No, but then if they play this, I can just kill it. If they play another one, I can just kill it with the thing. Like, they get to draw a card. They can't play Nezahal. They do get to play Magma Opus, but I'm not even sure that's good enough. No, I think I would rather save it. Then again, play this. Like, if they do play another Teferi, I just attack it with the Hall. Ooh, I have an Archmage coming. I forgot. I could have attacked for 7. Like, that would not have been bad. Do I want to fight that? I think I do. No, probably not. I think I just want to play Gearhulk. Like, then they lapse it. Yeah. I don't know if this is right or not. It's a speculative play. So now, I think I have to discard this. Because if I play... Oh no, but I still don't have enough mana. So they kept 1, huh? Alright, I accept. Should I just be attacking with this? I don't know. The problem is if they have Gearhulk, I'm in trouble. I think I should play this. If they go Gearhulk, counter it. It sucks for me, but... Now I have the delirium thing at least. I just guess this? Get rid of this, find a land? I haven't played a land yet, right? I think I do. Huh. I think I went this in my hand. That's not so bad because this just kills it. Wait, they didn't attack? What did they think I was gonna do? Should I just shoot this first? Like if they counter it, like I want to draw a card if they counter it, but like they might not counter it if I do it first. Like you think if they have a There's nothing here. Okay, I like how this is going. Okay, I like this even more. That I don't like very much, but well, we'll take it. Yeah, now I have to worry just not to die, right? I could just die to something, but like a bunch of burn. Do I want to... How fast do I want to take this? Because I could just animate this. Those will leave me with 1 mana. But it would threaten, like, double lethal next turn. Or I could just wait. I have the Magma Opus. Like, if I animate this attack... They can just do a... They can, like... They can do a bunch of stuff. But I can't stop them exactly. But, I mean, I'll be drawing cards. Let's try this. Like, if they counter it, I draw a card anyway. Then when they play something, I draw a card too. Untapped? I don't think so. I mean, untapped lets me cast Discontinuity, but... Also Triome into something maybe, but I don't think I want to take 2 damage here. Like, I think they will probably, if they try to do something, it'll be on my turn, not on their turn. I should cycle this. It seems safe enough. Ooh, good draw. So I think I just attack. If they have a shark, like I just played Discontinuity. Even if they have Dispute now, I have the Opus, right? Alright, so we did it. We went 7-1. And the one that we lost was definitely our fault. So, because of the whole Phoenix play returning. That was really bad. So, okay. I'm really happy this worked out anyway. And my dogs are going crazy again. And yeah, I'm glad I recorded this, actually. There were a lot of very sweet games. So, yeah. Well, that's what I have for today. And if you like my videos and want to support my work a little bit more, make sure to check out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/PVDDR. And special thank you to my biggest supporters, Adam Racing, Adrian Camilleri, Chris, Foxy, Fernando Fizel, Igor Petrov, Joey, Calvin Peng, Kathy Massey, Lawson, Mattia Giardini, Nate, Silvia Leticia, Thomas Pokorny, and Dimitri. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you next week.